Orrville residents celebrate a new walking path, a prison in Perry County reopens, and a Selma couple brings a new mural to Uniontown. That and more in this week's edition of the Selma Sun Spotlight, Selma Dallas County's only local newscast. I'm Cindy Fisher, publisher of the Selma Sun.
And I'm Todd Prater, staff writer for the Selma Sun. Here's this week's top stories.
Our Congresswoman in this district, we just want to thank you so much for your work and effort of bringing truly generational funding opportunity into the state.
At a town hall meeting at Marion Military Institute, Congresswoman Terry Sewell said Black Belt residents need to hold state politicians accountable for making sure the region gets its share of federal relief funds. The state will receive $5.2 billion for road improvements, $225 million for bridge repair, and $100 million over 5 years to expand broadband internet access. Sewell says she's disappointed that the state chose to spend $400 million of its CARES funds to build new prisons, but she acknowledges that it is a legitimate use of the money. She says she's also disappointed that Alabama is one of 12 states that did not choose to expand Medicaid.
Speaking of building new prisons, how about repurposing an old one? A former private prison in Uniontown has been repurposed to help parolees establish successful lives in the community.
Inmates from all over. They had federal inmates. This was also a place that a lot of holding for federal prisoners. Before they went to Mobile, they would stay here. And so this is a great opportunity to turn this facility into something else. Without it closed, as you know, because they had some escapes and they had some other problems, and it closed, and there was a concern that the building was just going to be an empty place, and now they turned this into this really, really nice facility for Alabama.
The PREP Center, which stands for Probation and Parole Reentry Education Program, will provide reentry and rehabilitation services for individuals who are on probation or parole. This allows them to complete their sentence while receiving programming outside of Alabama's Department of Corrections general population. Pardon and Parole Director Cam Ward says that about 30% of the 43,000 individuals that are under the supervision of the Bureau end up returning to prison. He says the secret to keeping them out of prison is to address their underlying substance abuse and mental health issues and getting them jobs. The Alabama Department of Mental Health will provide certified substance abuse and mental health treatment while they're a part of the PREP Center.
And it's a great project. I was there when they cut the ribbon, and Governor Ivey was there as well, and so was Terry Sewell. She made it over there for that service as well. And it was great. I got a tour of the facility, and it's actually in great shape, and this is a good turnaround service to use this property for something that will be very rehabilitative.
Well, you understand when you do wrong, you get punished, but you can't stop there. These people need help readjusting to life outside, and so this is a great way for folks in our area to become productive members of society once
and they
again.
will train directly to the jobs that are needed in the area.
Excellent.
Harvest Select was there, which is a big supplier and catfish farm in the area, and they said that they're going to look at jobs that they need and cater the training at this facility for what they do, and are encouraging other communities and other businesses to do that.
That's awesome. That's excellent.
Orrville residents can walk themselves to better health on a new path at Keith High School. Dozens of Orrville residents and Dallas County officials came to celebrate the opening of the new Orrville Community Walking Trail on Saturday, April 23rd. There was a Healthier You walk-run event at the nearby community center. A dedication ceremony for the trail was held after that event. The new walking trail is part of the Orrville Building Healthy Communities Coalition. It is an initiative of UAB's Minority Health and Health Disparities Research Center and the Obesity Health Disparities Research Center.
I am the Director of Community Engagement for the UAB Minority Health and Health Disparities Research Center, more affectionately known as the MHRC. This is one of many projects under a NIH-funded grant. This is a part of the Obesity Health Disparities Research Center. We were tasked with helping to build community coalitions across the state. 5 of those specifically. Orrville is one of ours. This project is 5 years in the making. When we came here 5 years ago to talk with residents about what barriers they needed help overcoming so that they could live their best health, one of the things was access to physical activity. And so this walking path was a natural remedy to be able to help residents with that. And so today we are celebrating the grand opening of this walking path. Exercise more, eat healthier, know your numbers, and educate, then we can propel Alabama out of the bottom 10 by 2030, we hope. So it's going to take all of us working together in a collaborative effort.
The Dallas County Board of Education and the Black Belt Community Foundation also contributed to the project.
I sort of try to tie it all in together. I picked an unsung hero from the town. The children are part of this story as the unsung hero. And this mural is called In the Footsteps of Children.
Selma artist Trey Taylor and his wife Helene brought their Revolution of Joy mural painting efforts to Uniontown. With a national partner, Canned Aid, the painters took over the side of a building that's been many different things over the years, from a meat market to a grocery store, a photo studio. It was even a nightclub at once. Now it features a colorful mural of monks, birds, and water that represent Uniontown's beginnings as host of artesian wells, which were important for the area. Dozens of volunteers came through the weekend to add their stroke of artistry to the wall, and their children's footprints. Their footprints were painted onto the wall, and then they became flowers, which fit the mural theme, Footsteps of Children.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful day. I
Yes.
got out there and participated to some degree.
You did? Wow, how
It was
cool.
really fun. And they're actually painted the feet, the bottom of their children's
kids' feet.
Yep,
Yeah.
and made their little footprints, and
Oh,
then
neat.
went behind and did flowers. But
How cool.
so the Taylors are actually doing many murals. That we have 2 here in Selma.
Right.
They did one in Marion,
Oh,
in
really?
downtown Marion, and it's part of this Black Belt effort to beautify and
so
also
cool.
make it where it's like a tourism
Right.
that where folks will go to see all the different murals in the towns, and that will bring traffic and tourists here.
Right.
So
A
I
mural
love the
tour.
idea. We'll see
Oh,
how it
cool.
goes.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of the Selma Sun Spotlight. Read these stories and more at selmasun.com, and follow and subscribe to us at our YouTube channel and on Facebook and Instagram.
We'll see you next week.